Sweet mercy. But anyway, we found ourselves yet again to our usual standalone stages. Prodigy going to Quickman, Squidman going to Flashman. For those that are new to how the randomizer works and why we go to these stages usually give free E-tanks that are along the way. So Prodigy going to Quick for his E-tank, and Squidman going for Flash for his potential E-tank. But for Squidman, it's gonna be a little harder for him to get his E-tank, as we don't know what enemies are gonna be in that last stretch en route to that E-tank, while Prodigy can just make an easy drop down for his. These added safeties can be really beneficial in the randomizer run.
Yeah, and I think at the end of this, it's gonna look like Squid is behind, but he also ran into at least 3 fat fans along the way, which slow you down quite a bit, and then once Prodigy goes through Flash, he'll have to face the same thing.
So right now we're about to see what enemies are going to be on the way for Squidman's E-tank. A little bit gotta
Oh!
Okay!
That must have been an accidental extra life grab.
Yeah, he probably moved a little bit too early. So that's really unfortunate. Also, for those in chat, know the grand finals is still quite a bit away. This is still a losers round matchup, so we still got quite a ways to go before we reach grand finals. So right now we're still waiting for. Oh, that is an interesting Quickman we've seen. A lot of boomerangs and moving very, very slowly. So this is a really awkward Quickman to deal with. Also, really high jumping.
Yeah, and he's only just barely vulnerable to the Buster.
It looks like we got Vanilla Joe barricades en route to Quick Door. So, a rough quick aside, Squidman finally gets through Flash Stage. No items found though, but we're about to see if that's the case on Prodigy's end, where we find that our Robot Masters have a little bit of a flip-flop. We have Flash in Quick Room and Quick in Flash Room. Flash being the easier of the two, it seems. So let's see if we find ourselves an item in Quickman stage as we get the cool kid zip. Ooh, we find item 3 in Quickman stage. So Squidman is gonna be getting his item 3 as soon as he beats Flashman in Quick Room. But due to Prodigy's death by the Force Beams, right now Squidman has a slight advantage. Just a slight advantage.
Prodigy finding those fat fans on Flash now. It's pretty annoying to run into those in the tunnels. You can't do much other than just wait till you get to them.
Actually, it's equally annoying in Flash Room because one of the things that fat fans actually do, they actually slow Mega Man to a halt thanks to the slippery physics. So in order, if you see a fat fan in Flashman stage, it's actually much beneficial to actually jump up just a little bit so you don't wind up getting slowed down to a halt thanks to the sliding friction. Or lack thereof. So Squidman going to Quick Corridor about to fight his Flashman battle. While Prodigy is about to get his second E-tank and on his way to his Quickman.
Seemed like a pretty easy Flash fight for both of them. Alright, we have a question in chat for you, Creed. What song is this?
This song is actually from a Japanese-only Super Famicom game called The Great Battle 5, which is based on Bandai-related characters like Gundam, Kamen Rider, and all that stuff. It was actually used for the Wily stages in a Rockman 2 ROM hack called Rockman 2 Deus Ex Machina. So, yeah, it's a ROM hack game, basically.
So Squid's going to wood third, which I'm guessing means that he won't try for the wood zip, even though I think technically he has what he needs to start it. But I believe Squid doesn't like that particular zip because of the risk of soft blocking.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous zip to try to do with some with potential enemy sets, especially if fat fans are in the way. So yeah, we're pretty much expecting Squidman to just go the vanilla route and just take a leisurely stroll through the rest of Woodman stage. Meanwhile, Prodigy decides to go to Bubbleman stage, and I think we're gonna have ourselves some purple water. Yep, good old purple water. Splashing into that grape drink. While we got some Metroids flying out on top of Woodman's treehouse.
Yeah, those Metroids can actually be kind of annoying there because it's pretty easy to fall down the gaps, but Squid very effectively manipulating them so that they appear to be no problem whatsoever.
Meanwhile, Prodigy successfully doing the Buster Only Zip in Bubbleman stage. So, getting a little bit of time there. So, Squidman is not having too much trouble in Woodman stage. He's about to go into his Woodman boss door, while Prodigy's about to go into Bubble door. So, we're about to have ourselves a couple of new robot matches to deal with. So, let's see who Squidman faces off first. Looks like we got Airman and Woodman room. Very awkward patterns, while we got Heatman in Bubble room. And a very slow one at that. Really slow.
Yeah, in some ways that's the worst place to fight Heatman, because Heatman fights just tend to drag on for a really long time, and the game runs slower when you're underwater, and so it just exacerbates the problem.
Fortunately, Prodigy seemed to find Quick Boomerang as a pretty strong weakness, making the heat fight very fast. So instead of a slow burn, we got ourselves a rapid fire heat battle. And we find item 2 in Bubbleman's stage as well. So Squidman's about to find item 2 in a little bit. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't have an item in Woodman's stage. So it seems... Yep, it looks like we got another stage switch. Squidman just finishing off Woodman stage doing Bubble. Prodigy finishing off Bubble going to Wood.
Yeah, I suspect Squid still got a little bit of a lead. But I think the gap is closing.
At least no one died yet. Knock on wood.
Commentator's curse.
More like commentator coincidence. But we leave that for later. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that Prodigy is gonna try for good wood as well. Meanwhile, Squidman, just like Prodigy prior, also successfully does the Buster Only Bubble Zip. So we should have ourselves another good to go situation for Squidman.
Squid delaying a little bit there to fill up his health. Yep, he's going for the zip. Now, he didn't check the second room first, did he? He just sort of took it on faith that there wouldn't be fans.
Well, there is a small indicator of what enemies could be in that room. The screens before the hot dog stretch, the enemies in that screen potentially can be the same enemies that are going to be in that room after the checkpoint. So if the frogs were in the room before the hot dogs, more than likely they're going to be in the room that Prodigy just dipped through right now. So I think Prodigy just took it on faith that the frogs would be in that area, seeing them in the area prior.
That basically closed the gap. I mean, I think, you know, if they were actually completely tied right now, they'd be both finishing the boss fight at the same time. But it's pretty close.
Chad kind of putting me on blast, because I pretty much forgot that Prodigy did already die in Quickman stage. So anyway, we got Squidman finding item 2, electing to go to Heatman stage, even without item 1, but item 2 and item 3 is good enough. Meanwhile, Prodigy going to Metal Man stage, looks like he hasn't found item 1 as well, so he's just gonna hope that item 1 is in this stage. Because I'm pretty sure both of them are hoping to find item 1 before Crash, so they don't have to worry about the whole elevator platform conundrum.
I think item 1's gonna be in Crash. That was basically my prediction, right?
There's a very strong possibility. So pretty sure Squidman's probably gonna try to utilize the item 3 zip in here. First, we're gonna get rid of the gears so there's no slowdown while trying to get on. Meanwhile, Prodigy decides to just use the item 2 and fly over the rest of, or at least the majority of the final stretch of Metal Man stage. And gets whacked by a Crusher. So we got Prodigy and Squidman doing quick work of their respective stages. Prodigy going to the metal room corridor, while Squidman just entering Heat first door. And we got Woodman in. Oh wow! Look at this. A special. This is a potentially nasty attribute for Woodman. Woodman doing the false start leaf shield with the falling leaves going reverse, allowing the leaf shield to actually spawn faster upon landing. This is a very, very awkward Woodman to fight in any seed. So Prodigy taking the consequences.
Meanwhile, Squidman managed to pull off an E-Tank when he was at 2 health. That was a very close fight. There was another question in the chat about the song, but I don't know if you remember now. Oh, X3 opening. Somebody in chat knew.
Yeah, it was X3 opening. I'm pretty sure it was.
Prodigy opting for the E-Tank this time around.
Yeah, another good point out in chat. The conveyors in Metal Man's room is making this even more complicated. Because Metal Man is not in his room, the conveyor belts will stay in the static direction because there is no one to activate the changing of the directions of the conveyor belts. So having the conveyor belts going in one direction added just an added layer of difficulty in the Woodman fight. So that was a really, really nasty Woodman to deal with.
Squid was probably very happy to see tin cans that take one buster shot when he got to Airman. The birds can be problematic, but they spawned late enough in the stage that he was able to just face the other way on the item 2 and kind of turn them into a no problem.
So for right now, we can say that Squidman might have quite the advantage over, well, actually, yeah. This seed is just giving Prodigy quite the issues. Prodigy taking another death in Airman stage and has no more life. So Prodigy needs to take very special care of his movement from here on out, not to take the game over. At any rate, this is pretty much what we've been talking about. The consistency of Squidman versus Prodigy's need to go really fast and trying to do a little bit of special maneuvering. But for the most part, it just seems like Prodigy's death has been just unfortunate circumstances.
Looks like Metal Man brought his strobe light to the fight. It's kind of a weird aspect of the randomizer that normally Metal Man would change the conveyor belts, like that's one of his abilities, but he didn't have a conveyor belt, and so the way the game interprets that when he does it in other boss rooms is to make the lights flicker.
Yeah, it's one of the stranger attributes, given that Metal Man is not in his own room. So, Squidman going to Metal Man stage. He's gonna have to eventually deal with the nightmare that is the Woodman fight. Meanwhile, Prodigy's about to deal with whoever was in the Airman boss room. Oh yeah, it was Metal Man. Don't believe I already forgot.
It was also interesting watching the two different playstyles go through Airman, because Prodigy obviously having more trouble on the first screen of Airman, but then Squid getting a little hung up on the Mets on the second screen, but then Prodigy having no trouble at all with the Mets.
Well, certain enemies just give certain runners a much harder time than some others. I know with me, I usually have definite issues with crabs and Metroids. They seem to just wall me just about anytime they come around. So probably with the issue with the Mets, it just probably just happened to be that runner's particular issue. So, but that's just how the randomizer goes. Some enemies can just give certain amounts of trouble depending on which stage they're in.
Yeah, for me it's chickens in heat and air. I almost want to just reset and play a different seed when I run into that.
So Squidman is about to face his nasty Woodman fight, while Prodigy is on his way to Heat stage. And I noticed there is no Item 1 on the tracker, and these guys still have Crashman left. It seems like Item 1 is locked in Crashman stage.
Now, Squid's already used his E-Tank, so he's got to... Oh, he pulls it off. He had to kill Woodman right there, or he was gonna die.
But look like we got your wish, Daggett. We're about to have ourselves an item locked Crashman. And probably the most important one at that.
This will help keep it exciting. Those elevator rooms are trouble. You don't want to have to go through those. I noticed Prodigy picking up the extra life in Heatman to get himself a little bit of insurance.
And looking at the first screen of Crash, it seems like that it's going to be a particularly not so difficult. Sorry, kind of got lost in my train of thought. A not so difficult elevator screens for Squidman, because it looks like we're going to have gear enemies. Yeah, the gear enemies.
But you can get all the way up the ladder before they hit you, which is really nice. Oh, why did he leave the screen?
I think he might have
the elevator.
Yeah, he might have missed his Item 2 jump and decided to just reset the room so he can do it again.
Oh no, here goes his lead.
Not quite yet. He's still several screens ahead of Prodigy, but this is definitely going to slow him down quite a little bit.
Yeah, he's having a lot of flickering. Just another problem you can run into in this game, especially in the randomizer. Prodigy going for the zip.
The zip that you pretty much discovered.
When you can't do Task Clash, you know, like you can, you gotta come up with backups.
So yeah, Squidman is just a few screens ahead of Prodigy. And yeah, Prodigy's keeping this real close. He's not even in spite of the deaths that he had throughout the race, Prodigy's just still keeping tabs on Squidman, as Squidman is still keeping a steady pace on his way to the final stretch of the Crashman rooms.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
You might be wondering why Squid waited on one of those Item 3s when he could have jumped immediately. And the reason was because he wanted to jump and have Mega Man go off the screen, because then he could climb faster both on the screen he was on and on the next screen.
Yeah, a little bit of rapping mechanics that causes Mega Man's sprite on the ladders to just go up just a little bit higher, giving Mega Man that little extra climbing height. Anyway, we got a vanilla crash in Crash Room. And Metal Blaze just demolishes him.
Yeah, this is very close coming out of these 8 robos.
So around the 2020 exit, Squidman is about to be the first to enter in our Wally into our Wally stages. So it's Wally 1. It's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, guess the color of that dragon. The Mecha Dragon has a randomized color scheme. It is up to you, everyone in chat, to figure out what that color is, and for extra credit, figure out that weakness as well.
I'm gonna say the same colors as Crashman, that violet and green. And for weakness, I'm gonna go Buster. How about you?
We're gonna go with a tournament favorite and go with a pink Barbie dragon, and we're gonna go with metal weakness. But yeah, these guys are just not too far apart from each other. A handful of seconds apart. I didn't exactly see the times to get an exact amount, but he's still about half a stage away from each other. So there is still quite a bit of randomizers to deal with, and mistakes can happen. Prodigy is in range of a Squidman mistake to take a lead.
Squid choosing to refill his item 3 there so that he can use it to help on the climb. That's pretty smart.
Prodigy seeing that our item 1 is absolutely static, so we're gonna have no item 1 vertical movement.
It's static and it despawns almost instantly. It's really kind of the worst.
Speaking of randomized,
going for the safety flash.
Really short duration too, but a lot of uses. So not too heavy on the items here. Anyway, we're about to see what our Mecha Dragon's color is going to be in the weekend. So let's see how many people are going to be right. That is a borderline pink dragon. Pink purplish.
I think the fishing on these Wily bosses is going to become super important in this race. I think Squid, probably like me, uses a fairly standard order. I think Prodigy's logic is just whatever weapon fires the fastest. I wonder if he'll switch it up. Of course, he has no idea that he's behind.
But anyway, we do find ourselves a Quick Man vanilla weakness for the Mecha Dragon, that Squidman completely eliminates the Mecha Dragon on his way to Wally 2. Let's see if Prodigy finds the same. Still digging for weaknesses, and indeed finds himself a quick boomerang, but it is a short-range quick boomerang. Had a little bit of issue trying to get himself steady for the final quick boomerang hits, but he does, like Squidman, does defeat the Mecha Dragon, and on his way to Wally 2.
So Mega Man 2 has an interesting property where if Mega Man and the boss you're fighting die on the same frame, you can win the fight. So this works on Robo Masters and the stages. It works on Pico Pico. On the Dragon, though, there's multiple ways to die. You can die because you reach 0 HP, or you can die because you fell in a hole. And you will only win the double KO on the Dragon if you hit 0 HP. And I thought for sure that Prodigy was going to fall in the hole there due to a double KO, but he clutched it out. You know, he finished the fight.
His little lovely guy still has a sad little pathetic air as our crash wall weakness. So that's some good information for Squidman. We're gonna see if Prodigy is gonna try to make the same discoveries.
Yeah, it's interesting. This time around he went the more traditional route.
But this time he opts to skip, trying to find the wall weakness. Gonna try to find the wall weakness on the Blue Beam fight. But actually, if you really think about it, this is the second time that air shooter has been the wall weakness for the Boo Beam. So that's 2 matches in a row that air has been a wall weakness.
Prodigy in a troubling spot here. Those drills are going to spawn randomly, and he can't switch to E-Tank. Well, now oh yeah, he still can't. Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, the lag really did Prodigy in. One of the things you gotta remember, as long as the weapon or item is still on screen, you cannot pause. So as the item 3 was still slowly going down before it disappeared, Prodigy had no way to hit the pause button to get to his E-Tank, and it wound up costing him pretty significantly.
Yeah, meanwhile, Squid finds the Buster Weak Pico and just slaughters it.
And Prodigy has an even greater issue because of the fact that he had to wait for the item 3s to disappear. He wound up wasting all of his item 3s, so he had to grind for item 3 energy to make it to the top, especially as item 1 was no help because it was static. So Prodigy just winds up pulling himself further behind thanks to some unfortunate situations.
Squid choosing to skip all the power-ups at the start of Wily 3. That's one of the strengths of having Buster Weak Wily bosses. It allows you to go even faster in the next stage.
Meanwhile, we see some fruit punch chickens in the water sections of Wily 3. Definitely a surprisingly decent enemy to deal with, as annoying as those chickens can be. Prodigy beating up Pico Pico while Squidman is en route to the Guts Tank door, about to find out what weakness our Guts Tank is gonna have.
Oh, maybe it'll be Leaf Shield and he can do that cool kill that you did.
Personally, I'd rather not do a kill like that.
I'm stealing that trick for the future, though.
That's only in desperate situations as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, regardless, Squidman finds Bubble for one of the 2 Guts Tank weaknesses, and is on his way to Wally 4.
I didn't see which thing Prodigy refilled there. Was that an item?
Not too sure. I was also focusing on Squidman as well. But regardless of the matter, he probably was still in an item situation, so Prodigy probably still doing a wise decision, refilling whatever weapon or item he chooses to fill. Get a little bit of information for what the Mega Man 2 Randomizer is, and a few other extra things. As always, follow our runners. They're busting their humps, trying to entertain the masses. And yes, that was indeed Wily Stage 1 from Mega Man 1. One of the few official Capcom musics that is available to be used for this game. The other 2 are Bionic Commando and Legendary Wings.
Squid getting the Wily 4 vertical zip again. Not quite as big of a time save this time around because he fell through the invisible platforms and then had to use an item 1 to get back up there, but still overall a time save compared to actually doing the climb.
Trying to utilize the item 1 to skip waiting for the elevator. Unfortunately, it was too low. And Squid using the item 2 to fly through the rest of this area, and does so safely and opts the pause buffer to make sure he gets to the next screen transition safely.
Yeah, I noticed his setup on that was a lot more careful this time after his death in the previous run. Prodigy also getting the climb zip.
So Squidman is en route to Boo Beam. He knows that the air shooter is a wall weakness. Prodigy does not, because he's scared trying to check the walls, at least in Wally 2. So right now, Squidman does have a knowledge advantage, but he still got to find what the Boo Beam weakness is, and it's not any of the god weaknesses of metal or wood. So he's gonna bust the walls and try to find what the Boo Beam weakness actually is. And it's Buster. So we're gonna have no worries about managing items, at least by the time of the refight.
Yeah, we'll see when the machine is. We'll see what its weakness is. That can definitely change things up. If the machine ends up being weak to something that's very expensive, you might feel an urge to go left in Wily 6 if that happens to you.
Assuming that the machine is actually Buster weak.
Yeah, which it seems to be quite often.
It's supposed to be a 50-50 chance, but it never feels like it.
Yeah, it feels more like 7 out of 8 or something like that.
But anyway, Prodigy doing the classic digging, but finds air quick enough, but he still gotta dig for that Boo Beam weakness, which is Buster. Obviously used the E-Tank because he was low on health.
Squid remembering his weaknesses, so he switched to Metal Blade for Crash there.
Meanwhile, Prodigy quickly finds Buster as the weakness for the Boo Beam, so he should have no problems, or at least little problems, defeating Boo Beam, assuming he can do some corner jumps. I've always disliked corner jumping in Mega Man 2, one of the most awkward things to try to pull off. And in moves like Boo Beam, it's just not fun. It's just not fun.
Yeah, this game lags a lot, and that can throw off a corner jump.
So it looks like we got Squidman on his... He's on his 7th Robot Master in the refights, while Prodigy is just beginning his first. So Squidman has quite a bit of a decent advantage on Prodigy, closing in on the final moments of match 2 of the best of 3. So unless there's some troll situations on these last few Robot Masters and the Waller Machine, Squidman just might, this is still a maybe, but he might have match 2 wrapped up and we be moving to a match 3. Squidman taking quite a beating on the bubbles. Fortunately, he does have a couple of more E-Tanks, so he's able to continue on his battles.
He very carefully stayed out of range of getting bodied by Bubble there, because the bubbles deal a fair bit of damage, but a body hit from Bubble is much worse.
Actually, no, the bubbles and Bubble Man himself do the same amount of damage as...
Do they really?
Yeah, as we find yet again the machine as Buster weak.
Surprise, surprise.
So for right now, pretty much the alien stands in the way between Squidman and the potential Game 3. So Squidman, as we like to say, is heading down Victory Road, about to fight our alien. Daggett, guess the color and the weakness, do it quick.
Orange and brown, and he will be weak to Buster.
Buster weaknesses on alien have been pretty rare. Let's see if you're gonna be correct on that one. Meanwhile, Prodigy is just trucking along through his refights. Onto his 7th refight as Squidman fights his alien. And what do we got for the colors? That is a near vanilla colored alien here, except with blue gills.
Yeah, I said green, right? And not weak to Buster? Yeah, I think that's what I said.
And on Prodigy's side, we get one of the awkward situations that Metal can do. Metal can potentially change the music. Well, regardless of the matter, we got ourselves a Game 3 as Squidman beats Prodigy in Game 2 with official SRL time of 34 minutes and 52 seconds. We got a Game 3, folks.
Yeah, this has been a pretty exciting match so far. Oh, Prodigy taking a death on the machine.
Does he have any E-tank? I wonder. I've been paying attention to his item runes, so...
he probably already knows what happened. He's probably seen SRL chat.
But yeah, anyway, it's still a Buster Wily fight. Pretty simple, just unfortunate that Prodigy just had low health. Gonna double check his menu at some point to double check see if he still had an E-tank. He was running pretty low. So yeah, he might not have had any.
Yeah, chat's saying he's out of tanks.
So it's the consistency of Squidman with the unfortunate luck that occurred by Prodigy that evened this match up, and we got a 1-1 situation in this loser's bracket elimination match. I'm pretty much giddy. This is pretty much the exact situation I was hoping for. So this is a good one. Prodigy about to face his alien, gonna be digging for the weakness, which I thought I saw quick boomerang as being the weakness, in which I'm saying in my head again. Because personally, every time I seem to fight the alien, most of the time it's usually weak to quick boomerangs. But anyway, GG's to Prodigy as we have an official SRL time of 37 minutes and 6 seconds. GG's to both of our runners, but GG mostly to Squidman as he pretty much closed the gap and put us in a Game 3 scenario. So as we wait for our seed to get going up and our rematch race to start one more time, Daggett, what's your feeling about this one?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm not sure. Like we've seen so much from both runners today. We can see that they can both pull out a victory. They're very evenly matched, but they have very different play styles. If I were Prodigy, I'd probably be feeling a little tilted after that last one, and kind of glad to have a fresh start on a new race.
Yeah, this time Squidman just showed himself that consistency wins races. Squidman's play was just pretty much, well, not flawless, but definitely just that right amount of good enough that allows him to get a pretty solid time. 34 minutes is nothing to sneeze at these races. Sure, Prodigy was able to get a 33 in race 1, but 34 on these kinds of race scenarios, you've just seen some really good races and good times so far. And now we got match 3 in here. Who knows what's going to happen? And one of the main things that seem to be causing the main issues and keep swinging things into each other's favors are the unfortunate deaths that just keep occurring between our runners. The first time Squidman had the bad deaths, and the second time it was Prodigy that had some of the worst luck.
Yeah, we'll see if Prodigy can get through Wily 2 without a death this time. It definitely seems like something he should be able to do. I'm kind of surprised about the deaths that he took both times, but the second time was pretty understandable. He tried to get up that wall, and then item 3 would not despawn, and he was at 0 health. It's just
So
kind of an...
Oh, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, that's just sort of the sort of unfortunate situations that the randomizer can throw at you, where you really don't know what to expect until you get there.
Looks like we got our seeds readied up. We're just waiting for our runners to ready up. It looks like we got ourselves a Super Metroid. Yep, definitely a Super Metroid intro. So yeah, in a few minutes we're gonna be getting our race up and running. Game 3, best out of 3. We're going the distance, everyone. So in chat, who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for Prodigy to overtake Squidman, or you want Squidman to just demolish Prodigy? Let's see who you're rooting for, chat. Looks like we got a few people taking the third options. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Don't be going on the fence trying to do some third option shenanigans. And we got one for the fat kitty. That's probably gonna go to Prodigy by default. Prodigy, our fat kitty man. We got one rooting for Roots. Shoutouts to shoutouts. Yet again, we got Prodigy doing the Mega Man 2 Randomizer mating call on the title screen. Just waiting in silence for something to happen. Seemed like we got a little more SRL confusion trying to get things set up. Give us a moment, folks. These shenanigans are gonna be taken care of as soon as possible. Question in the chat about the level layouts. Unfortunately, no. Randomizing the layout is quite a difficult process, so for the sake of simplicity as far as randomizing goes, the level layouts are completely the same. So if I'm going to put the command in chat of what's randomized. And there you go, that's mostly the gist of what's all randomized in this game.
No, the amount of damage that Mega Man takes when he gets hit by things, that's also not randomized, correct?
Actually, that is correct. The damage that's being dealt by enemies is one of the few things that haven't been randomized. Honestly, I think it's for the best. Imagine someone with an instant kill capability.
Yeah, yeah, there could be some nasty possibilities with that.
But anyway, we got SRL chat going. We got ourselves a countdown as the stream catches up. Game 3 between Prodigy and Squidman. One moves on, one goes home. We're about to get it on and just see what match 3 has in store for us. So just give us a few seconds. Just looking at the clock, tick, 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 tick.